He rocks in the treetop all day long, hopping and a bobbing and singing a song. gonna go to Rockin' Robin. Whoa, Rockin' Robin. And I said it down low.
Ralph, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your loud rags on and join me halfway. Have some fun when the clock strikes 1. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. Gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3, and 4, then the band slows down. We'll yell for more. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. Gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around
Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Captain Howard C. Warner III, Commanding Officer of Naval Base Point Loma, just across the San Diego Harbor here. I am a career submariner, a native San Diegan, and a graduate of the United States Naval Academy. It is a pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies for this wonderful event where we have come together to remember our fallen veterans and to celebrate our memories of them. So we are here tonight on behalf of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, the founders of the wall who have brought their half-scale replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial to the flight deck of the Midway as part of more than a week's worth of activities. So let me start by thanking all of you for taking the time out of your day and your evening to be here with us this evening. And thank you to those of you who have generously donated your time by standing a watch at the wall. Thank you to those of you who have donated your talent, your materials, or service to make this week and this evening possible. So this past weekend, we celebrated the 115th anniversary of the submarine force. And last Friday, I had the honor of speaking to a large group of retired and active duty submariners about the legacy of the submarine force. The context of my remarks last Friday centered around the history of the submarine force and its adaptability in an ever-changing sea of technology and adversaries. And this legacy of adaptability has produced an independent, bold, and solution-driven culture that defines the submariner of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Now, I am quite certain that Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise is a prodigy of the submarine force. Now, he may not have been the best engineer, we'll leave that to Scotty, but he is crafty, resilient, stands tall in the face of adversity, and won't back down from a fight, no matter how daunting it may appear. So I am a second-generation submariner, preceded by my father, who nobly served his country on multiple submarines through both the Vietnam and the Cold Wars. My grandfather served in the Army during World War II, and my father-in-law is a retired Marine who is a World War II Iwo Jima veteran. In fact, chewing up the black sands of that island in the Pacific weren't enough for him, so he came back for service in the Korean War and the Vietnam War, retiring in the mid-1970s, currently resides up in Fallbrook here in San Diego, growing avocados, which is great for me because we don't have to buy avocados for our guacamole anymore. But with that being said, all three of those men have played a pivotal role in shaping my career as a naval officer. In fact, my father-in-law, Carl Romano, the Marine, taught me a lesson in being a humble leader shortly after I received my first personal award, which is a Navy Achievement Medal. And I love telling this sea story, so I'm sure Jack's going to have to listen to it again, but it's the epitome of a Marine, I'll tell you. So essentially, I get my first Navy Achievement Medal, and I thought I earned it. Unlike my other shipmates on my submarine, I thought I actually did a lot of good things. But nevertheless, I sent a copy of it to my father and to my father-in-law, both veterans. And my dad, being the dutiful father, said, "Howard, congratulations, well done. I'm very proud of you." And Sarah, my wife, her father said, "Howard, congratulations, well done, I'm very proud of you." But he also wrote a letter and said, "Well, here's a copy of my first personal award." And it was a Bronze Star with Valor earned on Iwo Jima. So never again did I celebrate my personal decorations in public. And I hold true to that day, at least to this day. Anyway, while service to our country is not measured by the number of medals on our chest, the medals do signify the sacrifice that many of our sailors, soldiers, airmen, and Marines have made in defense of our nation and our Constitution. The legacy of all the heroic and incredible deeds recognized by the award citations, many of them posthumously, are carried on in perpetuity with every name inscribed on that wall over there. The memorials we build are not so much for our benefit, but they're there to remind us as our obligation as citizens to never forget our veterans. And at his public address in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and many of you probably know this by heart, President Lincoln said, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who have fought thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. So I can think of no greater tribute to our veterans than those immortal words. And as we reflect upon the legacy of our fallen veterans, brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, friends, you name it, let's not be saddened by their loss, but rather let's be emboldened by their commitment to keeping me, you, and this great nation of opportunity forever free from tyranny and oppression. So with those remarks, I would like to continue on with the ceremony. Joining us this evening is the CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, Mr. Jim Knotts. He's an Air Force veteran who both in his active duty career and his distinguished nonprofit professional career has worked tirelessly to support his country, his fellow Americans, and veterans from all services. Jim's leadership has had a profound impact on all of those who have worked for him, so please join me in providing a warm welcome for Mr. Jim Knotts.
Well, thank you very much, Howard. Ladies and gentlemen, it's truly my honor to have this group of close friends of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund join us here in this amazing location this evening. I just want to point out something, if you haven't been told already. If you look toward the edge of the ship, this fence here that has all of the yellow and black ribbons on it, those represent the names that are on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. There are 58,300 ribbons tied to the fence. The black ones actually represent those who are still listed as missing in action. And one of the primary missions of our organization is to preserve their memory, to honor their service and sacrifice, and to educate current and future generations not only about the Vietnam War, but really about the Vietnam era being what is truly the most divisive event in our country's history during the 20th century. Not just what happened on the battlefields, but what happened back at home. It really tore our nation apart. And unfortunately, many of our Vietnam veterans became the objects of scorn of those who were actually against the war. Instead of blaming just the politicians who made decisions with which they disagreed, they actually mistreated our Vietnam veterans when they came home. So what I'd like to do is ask our Vietnam veterans to either stand, or if you're already standing, raise your hand so everyone can identify you. I know we have a number of them here tonight. And for all of you who were not properly recognized when you returned, on behalf of everyone here and our grateful nation, I just want to wish you a welcome home. And I'll tell you, one of the things I've learned since I began working with this great organization is that the Vietnam veterans did not stop serving when they came home. I'm a Persian Gulf I veteran, Desert Shield and Desert Storm in the early 90s. And I grew up in a time where I heard about the mistreatment of our Vietnam veterans who had proudly served. And I knew that that was wrong. And then when I got ready to go to war on behalf of my nation, I had the honor and the respect and the support that I needed And it is due to the dedication of our Vietnam veterans who said, we will never let another generation of Americans go into harm's way without the support and the respect that they deserve. And your support means the world to us. As a nonprofit, we exist on donations. So thank you for those that were generous enough to buy a ticket and participate in our event tonight. That's what allows us to take the wall to communities large and small all around our country and give our veterans the opportunity to experience the healing power of visiting their fallen comrades. And it is in that vein that I would ask you to join me in remembering them. In the military, it is customary that at the end of the duty day, we lower the flag and we play taps. And so in a minute, I'm going to ask us all to stand and honor the flag as taps is played. But I have a very special person I want to introduce. Little Dog, can you raise your hand? This is Little Dog. He is a veteran himself, and he takes it upon himself to travel at his own expense to many of the stops around the country where the Wall That Heals is displayed. And for hours upon hours, sometimes 15 hours in a day, he walks back and forth behind the wall with his harmonica and he plays taps. And so I'm going to ask Little Dog to play taps for us. Before you do that, Little Dog, I would remind everyone that President George W. Bush, one of the last pieces of paper he signed when he was president was authorization for veterans of our nation to render a hand salute to the flag, whether they are in uniform or they are in civilian clothing. And so please join me in rendering a hand salute to our flag. Little Dog, you're on. Right there. Thank you. One of the other things that I think is really important is recognizing service by those who wear the uniform of our nation. All of us who have done so, we understand on an intuitive level that we owe a debt to those who have served before us, and we owe a debt to those who will serve after us. And it is that legacy of service that connects us all across all of the generations. So for all of my federal veterans in the audience, for the family members that support them, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you for those kind words. So I'd like to next introduce our keynote speaker for this evening. In case you didn't see his wicked ride over there, it's kind of hard to miss. I was telling Jim I drove a 65 Mustang here in San Diego when I was in high school. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world until I saw that car. So good night. What an amazing vehicle. But anyway, this evening, James Patrick Jim Caviezel is an American actor and best known perhaps for his portraying of Jesus Christ in the 2004 film The Passion of the Christ. But as an avid golfer, I will say that other notable roles include the golfer Bobby Jones in Bobby Jones' Stroke of Genius, Detective John Sullivan in Frequency, Edmond Dantes in one of my favorite Alexander Dumas books, The Count of Monte Cristo, perhaps one of my favorite movies. Ketch in Angel Eyes, Carol Orstadt in Deja Vu, and Private Wit in the World War II movie, the thin red line. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I will tell you that since 2011, Jim has starred as John Reese on the CBS crime drama series Person of Interest. An amazing show, great quality product, and listening to what he does to prepare for a role, it's no wonder he's very, very convincing, both in person and on the screen. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in providing a resounding welcome for Mr. Jim Caviezel.
Thank you very much. I know many of you are probably thinking either my number came up or he's going to save me, or my number is up and Jesus is coming to take me home. I promise you it's neither, so relax. I come tonight to remember and commemorate the sacrifice and the service of some incredible men and women. Even though I have not worn the uniform, there was a personal connection for me. In the year 2000, I was offered the role of Edmond Dantes in The Count of Monte Cristo. It was a new adaptation of the Dumas classic. Little did I realize that that film would connect me to some of the most brave and heroic men that I would ever meet. The Count of Monte Cristo was the first time I had to carry a film on my own, and here I was at the pinnacle of what I long wanted to achieve, but I had no peace. There were lots of challenges on this picture. My character, Edmond Dantes, is unjustly imprisoned. While in his cell, both in the book and in the film, he carves on the wall, "God will give me justice." With all the odds against him, this solitary man is committed to freeing himself and vanquishing evil, even the evil inside of him. Now, some wanted to remove the "God will give me justice" carving from the film and insert some other phrase. I told them if they struck this phrase, they could find themselves another count. The carving stayed in the picture. There is a wonderful scene between Edmond and a fellow prisoner, a priest played by Richard Harris. And at the moment of real despair, in the pit of self-pity, Edmond says, "Priest, I don't believe in God." The priest looks up to him and says, "It doesn't matter, Edmond. He believes in you." And he does. God loves each one of us personally, and he is there with us, even in our moments of dark despair. After shooting Monte Cristo, I inexplicably get a call from Mel Gibson. Now, my agent didn't call, my manager didn't call. I didn't know Mel Gibson, and I wasn't politicking for the role because no one knew it was happening. Mel Gibson wants me to play Jesus Christ. He wants the guy with the initials of JC, who happens to be 33 years of age, to play Jesus Christ. Is this a coincidence? I don't think so. Up there on the cross, I learned that in his suffering was our redemption. The victory was in the sacrifice. Remember, the servant is no better than the master. Each of us must carry our own cross. Both our faith and our freedoms carry a high price. I've been actually scourged, practically crucified, and definitely struck by lightning. I know from whence I speak. That's why I came here today. Now, I told you that there was a personal connection. One does not know how God will use us or our work, even something as seemingly unimportant as a film or a phrase carved into the wall of a set. Marcus Luttrell, one of our distinguished Navy SEALs, the sole survivor of Operation Red Wing, writes in his book and has told me that my film, The Count of Monte Cristo, was a constant source of comfort and inspiration for him. Interestingly enough, it was the carving on the prison wall, "God will give me justice," that has become his motto. Privately, Marcus told me that the night before the fateful Operation Red Wing mission, he and his 3 comrades watched The Passion of the Christ. It was the last film that those men ever saw together. And God, did they fight valiantly just as many of you have. Years later, I attended a lone survivor event for our veterans in Houston. That night, over several beers, Chris Kyle, another hero, gave me his trident, the special gold insignia of the SEAL with the eagle clutching an anchor, a trident, and a pistol. We talked for hours about the passion of the Christ and the sacrifices we are all called to make in the cause of liberty and freedom. Now, some of you might be wondering what that black Shelby Cobra is doing out there on the deck tonight. That is my own little tribute. Under the motto, In hoc signo vinces, in this sign you will conquer, the engine commemorates the Afghanistan mission, Extortion 17. More Navy SEALs were lost in that 2011 mission than any other. Some of you here tonight served with those men and knew them. I had their names engraved on the engine. Then I had Chris Kyle's trident welded below with the message, beloved fathers, husbands, brothers and sons. It is my personal way of keeping their memory near, a way of honoring the men who have contributed so much to this country, and in a smaller way, to me. So many of the choices I've made on the Person of Interest TV show, playing a former military man, have been informed by the experiences and generosity of these brave men. In a much more important and public way, this organization, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, has preserved the names and stories of the 58,300 beloved fathers, husbands, brothers and sons, daughters and wives lost in the Vietnam War. Their names are inscribed in the granite in DC and via the wall that heals, taken to those who may never visit the nation's capital, but are still in need of healing and a physical touchstone of remembrance. During Vietnam, as a kid, I remember watching the war play out on TV every night because my Uncle Tom was there. We prayed daily that he would make it back, and when he did, he couldn't even get a job. As I think about those we lost in the war in Vietnam, and those who returned home to a cold welcome and a cold shoulder, it is incumbent upon us to never forget the sacrifice of these devoted men and women. Yes, we have to remember the fallen, and efforts like this do, but we also owe a debt to those who survived. We have not made good on that debt. The state of our Veterans Administration hospitals today is deplorable. Our veterans deserve better. Many of you deserve better. And then there are the wounds that we ignore. Mother Teresa said the greatest disease in the West today is not tuberculosis or leprosy. It is being unwanted, unloved, uncared for. We can cure physical illnesses with medicine, but the only cure for loneliness, despair, and hopelessness is love. There are many in the world who are dying for a piece of bread, but there are many more dying for a little love. Let us find ways to show our love, gratitude, and affection to these courageous men and women. It might be contributing to the fund that helps them find work, or giving to the educational efforts of groups like the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, or volunteering at the VA, or offering assistance to a veteran or his family. The fight is not only over there, and it doesn't end once the serviceman or woman comes home over here. To those veterans with us tonight, your suffering and your sacrifice may not be fully understood or appreciated by your fellow citizens, but a man from Galilee who died over 2,000 years ago understands. You see, they didn't appreciate his sacrifice and suffering either, but that does not diminish its value. Go to him. He is there for you no matter the circumstance or the hour. As St. Augustine once said, God loves each one of us as if there was only one of us to love. He cares for us individually, for you. the end, the men and women who have paid the ultimate price did so for love. Love of country, love of freedom, and love of each other. As Jeff Axelson wrote of his fellow Navy SEALs before losing his life in Operation Red Wing, within the willingness to die for family and home, something inside us longs for someone to die beside, someone to lock step with, another man with a heart like our own. It reminds me of the words that Mel Gibson first intoned in his Academy Award-winning film Braveheart when he said to his ragtag army, and it's a message to every one of us, all Americans, military and civilian. I see before me a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as free men, and free men you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight? This man says, no, we'll run and we'll live. Yep, fight and you may die. Run and you'll live for at least a while, and dying in your beds many years from now. Would you be willing to trade all the years from this day to that for one chance? Just one chance to come back here and tell our enemies that you may take our lives, but you can never take our freedoms. Every man dies. Not every man truly lives. Let us continue to commemorate the lives of those brothers and sisters who have fallen, and pay tribute and continue to give thanks to those who still walk with us. You men of brave hearts, God bless you, God bless our troops, and God bless America.
I think after that, I'm just going to sit down. Wow, Jim. Inspiring on many levels, and thank you for that. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to encourage you to continue to enjoy the wine and generously donated by Murphy Good, and the beer generously donated by veteran-owned local B&S Brewing and Distilling. Absolutely. Let's give them a hand. Generosity. So I'm going to go on and continue to reflect on Jim's words. Wow, very nice. I need you to come down and talk to some of my sailors. All right. Anyway, we will continue on with the musical entertainment this evening. So again, please enjoy yourselves, and let's not forget the words that were shared this evening. Thank you.
Jaco Marcelino, if you've ever listened to Grease, he's on probably every song on the album. He's been in Grease, he's been in Rain Man, he's with Sha Na Na TV show for 8 years and was the second to the closing act at Woodstock, followed only by Jimi Hendrix. So as soon as we cut for the break here, Jaco will be leading us into the evening.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me for such a wonderful evening. We're going to do a little rock and roll, a little rhythm and blues for you, and of course we have a special guest afterwards. So don't you go away. Lucy, you don't do your sisters well. Lucy, you don't do your sisters well. Well, you ran off and married, baby. I love you still. Spawn and my Lucy was dark sight. I had my friends about it, but all their lips are tight. Lucy, please come back where you belong. I'm begging to you, baby, please don't leave me alone. Come on, baby, blue. Such a wonderful star. Hey, Lucille. Oh! One, two, three, four. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Can't do it all by myself. You better help me, baby. Got to find me somebody else. I might have to wash, I might have to sew, I might have to cook. I'll even mop up the floor. Help me, darling. Can't do this all by myself. You better help me, baby. Gotta find me somebody else. Hear me, dog. Well, bring in my nightshirt. Put on your morning gown. Oh, no, bring me my nightshirt, baby. Put on your morning gown. Well, you know I ain't sleepy, but I sure feel like laying down. You better help me. Can't do it all by myself. You better help me, baby. Can't do it all by myself. Look out. You better help me, baby. Gotta find me somebody else. Help me, baby. Thank you. Go ahead, hit it. I like to do a song that I wrote, and obviously, this is dedicated to all of you and your families. It's called Thank You for Your Service. Thank you for your service, for your sacrifice. Thanks for standing ready for the good fight. Thank you for your service. And thank your family for all that you have given to keep us all free. I know it's not easy being far away from home, but no, we won't forget you. Know that you're not alone. Yeah, we will always keep you in our hearts and in our minds. And may God protect you in the darkest night. Nation must remember never to forget, and welcome home with open arms each and every guest. Thank you for your service. I think we all agree you are all our heroes, and you'll always be. Thank you for your service. You are as grateful as can be. Thank you for your service to your country. Oh, I know it's not easy being far away from home. But no, we won't forget you. Know that you're not alone. Yeah, the nation must remember never to forget, and welcome home with open arms each and every vet. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We'd like to keep on rocking. If you know the words to this next one, help us out. And the ladies are back to help us out. All right, little Joe Turner. Get out of that pit, baby, watch your face and hand. Hey, get out of that pit, baby, watch your face and hand. Make some noise in the kitchen, cause I'm a hungry man. You keep wearing those dresses and the sun comes shining through. You keep wearing those dresses and the sun comes shining through. Shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. You don't do right to save your doggone soul. Come on, man. Yeah. roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. You don't do right to sing your doggone soul. Rattle and roll.
Jocko!
Thank y'all. But don't go away. Hey, let's hear from legends. How about the band? Give it up for the band. Come on.
Well, we know him from his fantastic and fabulous songs. Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. How many people have fallen in love to that song? He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, soon to be inducted into the R&B Hall of Fame. Without further ado, the one, the only, Little Anthony.
Thank you so much. It's always, as we say, it's indeed a pleasure, and it is a pleasure being here for the Vietnam Memorial Fund and for the wall that I was over there reading and looking, and I must say I was surprised to find someone that could be very close to me on that wall. I didn't want to say anything. I know I was talking to Barbara Beach about that, but I was stunned when I saw it. But anyway, yes, I'm a quasi-historian, especially in World War II, but I've become more acquainted with the Vietnam War in the last 5 or 7 years. And so I try to go to as many places as I can and sing what I can and try to do my best. This is sort of a way of contributing to men and women who gave their lives for me so I can stand up on the stage and sing. So for them, I salute you. Let's sing something. This is 1958, when I was a wee bit of a lad. Wonderful, wonderful. You don't remember me, but I remember you. 'Twas not so long ago, you broke my heart in two. Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart. Goes by you. If we could start anew, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd gladly take you back and attempt the hand of fate. Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart. Goes by you. Love is not a gadget. Love is not a toy. When you find the one you love, she'll fill your heart with a joy. If we could start anew, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd gladly take you back and attempt the hand of fate. Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart. Goes by you. Oh, oh, oh. There you go. 1958, when I was a wee bit of a lad. Anyway, you know, it's the funniest thing. I've had so many people in my family. My uncles served in World War II in the Pacific, died there. Had an uncle in World War I. Now I'm finding out I might have somebody who was in the Civil War. My son is over there. He spent 17 years in the Air Force, served in Iraq, Desert Storm. And I thank God he's back home for us. My other son is in the reserve. I had 3 brothers in 3 different branches of the service. And people ask me why I have a passion for the military. I have a great passion. And of course, I was supposed to go into the military In 1961, I actually got drafted. I probably would have been in Vietnam, but what happened was that President Kennedy, the late President Kennedy, had just signed an order that anybody with children and are married will not be drafted in the United States of America. So that's how I didn't go. But I was prepared. I wondered sometime what kind of a soldier I'd make, but I probably would have given it my best. Anyway, there's a lot of songs that's strange with Little Anthony Imperial. And this song was very strange because it didn't line up to what we were accustomed to people hearing from us, which were love songs and a lot of good big sounds. And I didn't particularly like this song, but what I found out later on is that many people who are the movers and shakers of this world, this song was very important to them. Because it was in 1960 when it came out. And actually, the Imperials and I did a big government program. It was, I forget what it was, but we had to be cleared by the FBI in Washington, D.C. And when we got to the big ballroom, it was just everybody you can think of. John McCain was there, Colin Powell was there, Joint Chiefs of Staff John Myers, and all these really big people. And one of the songs that they requested, guess what, was this one. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, pop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, pop. Sitting in a native hut all alone and blue. Sitting in a native hut wondering what to do. Along came a native girl, did a native dance. It was like in paradise, put me in a trance. Going shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, pop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. I think that song is, I don't know. Anyway, man. That's what happened. What do I know? The thing sold over 1 million records. Eh? You never know. You know, to have Colin Powell come up and go, and we're singing the song, he's going, yeah, man. And I said, what? Well, that's how it goes. Anyways, as they say in Charleston, South Carolina, I did a lot of, you notice I just came off a cold, excuse me. A lot of records that we did were just so unique, and Teddy Randazzo, the late Teddy Randazzo, who wrote it, and the great Don Costa, who produced it. Some of the finest music I've ever sung in my life, and probably never again have the pleasure of recording so many wonderful hits. Outside Looking In. On the outside looking in and going out of my head, hurt so bad. And this is one of them too. I hope you enjoy it. A love song is a love song. Take me back, I'm begging, please. Take me back, I'm on my knees. For you to scold me, hurt me, hold me, darling. Take me back when you belonged to me. I had a jealous mind. Too late to find that you were not the cheating kind. I take me back, I'm begging please. Take me back, I'm on my knees. For you to scold me, hurt me, hold me, darling. Take me back, my jealous eyes have learned to take a look or two. They were too blind to see that I was losing you. And take me back, I'm begging please. Take me back, I'm on my knees. Oh, you just got me, hurt me, hold me, darling. Take They say you live and learn. But though I've tried before, I promise never to be jealous anymore. Take me back, I'm begging, please. Take me back, I'm on my knees. For it is go me, hold me, darling. Take me back. Yeah, beautiful song, man. Funniest thing, I had some gentleman from Vietnam told me, he said the music he used to listen to the most to kind of pull him through that whole thing was Smokey Robinson and myself. I was very proud of that, you know. Though I did not serve, I like to know my music did. So it helped the cause, you know what I'm saying? So that for this, I thank God for it. That is just a wonderful thing to hear. Now this song here, well, a song like this does not come along but every 20 or 30 years. They call it the standard, which simply means a lot of people are going to be singing this song long after I'm gone off of this earth. But the one thing that makes me feel good is that it was written especially for the Imperials and myself in 1965 by the late Teddy Randazzo, Bobby Weinstein, and produced by the late great Don Costa. Now, I'm told by the recording experts, the Imperials and I are the only recording artists that ever sold over 4 million records of this song. I hope you enjoy it, but above all, I hope you remember it. Well, I think I'm going out of my head. Yes, I think I'm going out of my head. Oh, you. How are you? I want you to want me. I need you so badly. I can't think of anything but you. And I think I'm going out of my head, 'cause I can't explain the tears that I shed. Oh, you. How are you? I see you each morning, but you just walk past me. You don't even know that I care. Going out of my head. How are you? Out of my head. How are you? Out of my head. Day and night, night and day and night. Wrong or right, I must think of a way into your heart. There's no reason why my being shy should keep us apart. And I think I'm going out of my head. Yes, I think I'm going out of my head. Going out of my head. How are you? Out of my head. How are you? Out of my head. rest of us, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of you to be here. Your contributions, all is appreciated. And I must say I appreciate you too. What I do on stage is what comes natural to me. Even with a cold, it still comes natural to me. But for those of you who have served, now that's a different ball game. And I always say this, I try to. And I turn and I always tell you, gentlemen, those of you in the Vietnam War, and whatever war you might have fought in for the sake of the United States of America, I salute you. Amen. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Laura Ryan. I'm the Western Regional Director for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. And I wanted to just say thank you to you all. What a great crowd this evening. How nice to be in such a special venue with such a quality group of people. So we are thrilled to have had you here, and again, very appreciative. Want to let you know a few things. Little Anthony has a book out on Amazon and will be signing autographs, so please feel free to proceed to stage right for that. Please also feel free to join us at the wall. We would welcome the chance to answer your questions, to look up names for those for whom that is appropriate, and would welcome having you see it on the bow, under cover of darkness, with its beautiful light. It is truly a sight to behold, so please do that if you haven't yet had the chance. Also, I would remind you that we are raising funds, again, to replace the wall that heals. It has been well loved and well worn in its nearly decade of service, and our goal is to be able to bring a new wall in order to serve the 30 communities, large and small, in visits annually. And so we would welcome your support in doing that, in allowing us to upgrade its names to be reflective of the same as in DC, and to allow it to be rubbed, which currently it can't be, which is, as many of you know, if you've been to DC, is such an important part of that experience. We're also updating the Education Center and adding to the wall that heals a current conflict wall that will allow us, until such time as they can be appropriately memorialized in their own right, the chance to honor those who have served and sacrificed since Vietnam. So we would welcome your support in achieving that goal. I want to thank our host, the Midway, for a spectacular evening and a spectacular venue. And again, the food, the wine, the gracious people who made this evening's entertainment, both in speech and music, possible. We are very thank you, and to you, our good company, we're appreciative. Good night.